In today's magazine, our children are on the move. No, not going back to school just yet. The students being featured are learning to put out fires and doing amazing gymnastics underwater. And that's not all we have in store. Interested in becoming a Justice of the Peace? Stick around to find out more about what they do. I'm Theodore Henry, and this is Jamaica Magazine. All that and so much more after this message.
As of May 31, whenever you are making local calls, you will have to use the area code 876 before you dial the existing 7-digit numbers in your contact list. This is because Jamaica will be receiving a new area code, 658. Yes, all Little Island will now have 2 area codes, and to ensure you're calling the right person, you will have to dial 10 digits. Don't worry, if this is new to you, you still have time to get used to it, because there is a 5-month permissive dialing period where you will be constantly reminded. 10-digit dialing, another step in making Jamaica the place of choice to live, work, raise families, and do business.
How much do you know about Justices of the Peace? You know they don't just sign documents and passport pictures, right? They also play an important part in maintaining a harmonious society. Right now, learn more about the responsibilities of these peacekeepers.
When you offer your service across Jamaica, it is absolutely important for you to be fair-minded. Ensure that fair play at all times is displayed, a person dispensing justice, ensuring that peace is maintained across Jamaica, to assist in solving the many problems that we are encountering in Jamaica.
We see them all over the country. We know their names. We employ their services for signing important documents, among other things. But do we know the extent of their functions, or how one even becomes a Justice of the Peace? Come, watch as we open the gates to the historical peacekeepers of our nation.
I'm appointed through the Ministry of Justice, and as a JP, you have to be very, very confidential. So people can come to you and they can confide in you with whatever, and you can be that person that they can talk to. You have to be a person of integrity, a person who is an unquestionable background.
You're joining a vocation that has been in existence and started from the 12th century. From 1195, the king, known as King the Lion-Hearted, said to the knights, we need distinguished persons to operate in boroughs, communities, right across England. So find some persons who can keep the peace. From 1195, over 800 years ago, persons who were appointed were known as keepers of the peace. It was only in the 14th century that the term Justice of the Peace became the JP that you are now.
Ministry of Justice call us peacekeeper, and people do call us peacekeeper because we do keep the peace. Some of our duties that I perform, I witness documents for people, I do recommendations for some of the youths who want a job. I also do recommendations for persons who want to be surety to bail another person. So there are multiple things that I do as a Justice of the Peace.
The role of a JP is a voluntary one. So these officers are not to accept cash or any form of reward for the work done in their capacity as JPs.
It's something that you will do out of your heart. You have to do it as a person. You have to do it as a Jamaican. You have to love your country. And I believe that we have to stop asking the question what our country can do for us and to want to help to change our country, to change the justice system.
From there, the steps to become a Justice of the Peace are fairly simple. You must be a Jamaican citizen residing in the country during the time of appointment. You must be able to read and speak English fluently. You must be able to communicate and interact at all levels with all types of people. You must be a person of undeniable integrity who commands the respect of the local community. And You must be a person who has offered voluntary service to the community and the country by extension, while indicating the potential for continued service. But always remember, as a JP, you're offering a very valuable service to your country.
It's a fulfilling job, but it's also a tiring one. So I want to say to fellow Justice of the Peace out there, please, do it for the love. As what they say, do it for the love, not for the likes. You understand me? Make sure you're doing your job correctly. You signed up for a position to help people, help people.
Mommy,
Yes, Zoe?
can we read this book? It will only take 10 minutes.
Sure, sit down. Every spring, Madame Angel Wing arranges
Do you have 10 minutes? Read with your child today. Reading with your children for just 10 minutes each day helps develop their language and listening skills, stimulates their imagination, and expands their understanding of the world. So, start reading with your child today.
Not everyone is cut out for the hustle and the bustle this time of year. Yep, I'm talking about the back-to-school period where everybody is trying to get the best bargain on books, uniforms, shoes, the whole 9 yards. Some of us, like me, are not cut out for the Harlem Pull. And you know that expression, don't it? Harlem Pull is the action of pulling or pushing someone or something confusingly in multiple directions. In this heat though? No, sir. For your sake, I hope you've beaten the rush and you've done all that you need to. Harlem Pull, the featured ingredient in today's Saturday soup.
We are children and we have rights. We have a right to be
Protected
Provided for.
and included. Don't beat me up. Don't belittle me, and please don't molest me.
I am under 13. I should not be working for a living. That is child labor. It is illegal.
Stop leaving me alone. I am too young to provide for myself. I need your guidance.
Protect our nation's children. They have rights too. To learn more about children's rights, call or visit the offices of the Child Development Agency.
We're keeping the conversation on the new school year because I know it's on the minds of a lot of people. I am stepping out of the classroom though to talk about extracurricular activities. Now, if your child is not already taking part in one, sign them up next semester. Trust me, the benefits are tremendous. They will learn to set goals, work in teams, and they'll also learn good time management. And you don't have to take my word for it. Just listen to these ladies from the Island Aquatics Synchro Club.
I didn't start it here in Jamaica. It was started before me. I think when I came here, it was two clubs. I would say two clubs in Kingston. So I started it here in Port Antonio. 10 years ago, it wasn't a team. It was one swimmer only for a couple of years. And then kids started joining more and more, and here's a team.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I love synchronized swimming because of the pretty swimsuits. I wanted to show off myself to other countries.
The reason why I'm doing synchronized swimming is because when I was younger, there's not really a lot of sports that was there, and I also love water.
Synchronized swimming is a very unique sport. It's different from everything else, and I like to stand out.
It's a tough experience, it's challenging in many cases. I like the fact that we get to go out a lot, we get to get exposed to different things, different cultures and stuff.
We really don't select the girls. We take everybody who comes and we give them a chance. and then we'll see who stays. Synchronized swimming is not the sport that you can do twice a week for 1 hour. It's a very complicated sport that you have to do as speed swimming. You have to be very good at speed swimming. You have to be very good at gymnastics. You have to do a ballet class sometimes, and of course synchronized swimming actually on land and in a pool. Up there, don't turn, and then you walk out. So the goal is practicing 4 times a week, sometimes 5, and depending on the school schedule, of course.
The level of dedication is about, saying 1 to 10, it is about 8. Because it's not a lot of sports there's around that I can do. So doing synchro, it takes a lot of time to think about the things that you're going to do. Have about a duet and a solo. When it comes on to shows, it has about 12 different routines.
It's very hard to balance school and training because most of the times training finishes late-ish at night, so I will have to get home and sometimes study, and so I go to bed late, and it's kind of hard to wake up in the mornings.
This leg is great. This one is about
Synchronized swimming help you with development. It develops you physically and mentally too. I think the best advantage that they get being a swimmers is that they get in confidence. Knowing that you achieved something and you did something that many people cannot do. It gives you confidence and self-respect, and this is what the girls really need.
In the last few years, I've grown to the sports because when I was younger, I had my coach repeatedly saying, "Shall we work? Shall we work? Shall we work?" And I think before I reached about 16 or 15, I think I got better at that because knowing that I'm the oldest in the group, I have to show example.
Usually here I'm making our routines and trying to make sure it fits the personality of the swimmer first and the skill level.
I do a lot of mixing up of routines, especially when it comes to like duets and teams, sometimes solo.
It's all I want to do. It's my life. I would love to be in the 2020 Olympic Games, doing my best, competing, hopefully to get a medal.
Competing at the Olympics will make more Jamaicans know that synchronized swimming is actually in Jamaica.
This is not training for the Cadet Corps. There is a new co-curricular club in schools, the Fire Wardens Club. The Jamaica Fire Brigade has embarked on a new initiative. It involves children and is being implemented in schools across the country. The initiative is similar to that of many other school-based co-curricular programs. The only difference? This club reinforces the importance of disaster preparedness, management and restoration. The main aim is to reduce the country's susceptibility to significant damage from natural and man-made disasters.
Ready? Down. Up.
What to do if your clothes are on fire?
The program is now being implemented in schools across the country since its inception at institutions in St. Catherine in 2017.
Welcome to Great and Caenwood Primary School Fire Wardens Club.
What do you feel when you feel an earthquake? Shaking, yes. Things falling, yes. And you are frightened too. When I showed you the video, Did you see where the road split?
Yes.
And you saw cars going down into the between them? Yes.
We initially started with a quiz competition that went on to the primary schools. So we realized that we needed something a little more tangible where we can actually have the Fire Wardens Club in the schools. The motto of the club is
preparing today for disasters tomorrow.
we are preparing these students so that whenever there's a disaster, they will be ready to help within the schools, home, and churches. So we would teach them to be ready when there's an earthquake, so they would know the procedure, they would know the drill. We prepare them to help their schoolmates if somebody got injured and need to be moved from one place to the other. If there's a fire, we also taught them about the bucket brigade. They can get some water. You might have known that there are times when children are trapped, children are also burnt in fires. Now, if these children were taught and have some idea of what to do, the possibility that they could have helped themselves.
Within the schools, a teacher is assigned to the club, and for that purpose is given the title of a superintendent.
Our students are very enthusiastic about the club, and they get involved in many different activities as it pertains to knowing and disseminating information about disasters and disaster mitigation. One of the best agents for information are children, and parents respond to children. So when the children know certain things about how to manage disasters, what are some of the right things to do, they can help to inform their parents, and in turn the parents will inform the community members to respond. And in a community like Portmore, where there are so many potential disasters waiting to happen, it is important that Greater Portmore, at the schools in Greater Portmore, know about Fire Wardens Club and become involved in it.
Fire Wardens Clubites are also engaged in humanitarian activities, visiting children's and nursing homes.
I just love how they do things. You have to do them proper, and if you don't do them proper, sometimes you get kicked out of the club.
The Fire Wardens Club is very fun, and I get to do drills like fire safety, earthquake, tsunamis, and fire drill, because it helps us to blow out fires. The Fire Warden Club teaches us to do drill, teach us when what to do when your clothes is on fire. Stop, drop, cover your face, and it's a great club to join, and I love it because you have fun and it's helping your community and schools to raise disaster awareness. If someone's house is being flooded out, I can help them by take them out of the house and take out the good stuff like the birth papers and the passports.
Loss of life and property as a result of natural and man-made disasters should be minimized as the Fire Wardens Club expands and more children get involved.
And now I'm moving away from school, but still keeping the focus squarely on learning. In our next feature, find out more about a skill that could save a life.
Oscar! 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 Though this is a dramatization, it has happened quite often. In the field, at home, or at work, a loved one collapses and is unresponsive. What follows? Usually chaos, confusion, heartache. Instead of immediately providing that critical resuscitation technique which may prevent death.
CPR stands for cardiopulmonary resuscitation. It is a skill that is an emergency skill that is used to revive someone whose heart has stopped beating. Cardiac arrest can happen to anyone at any time. In the event that happens, you need to know the skills that you need to perform to revive these persons. or give these persons a chance of survival.
We never know when we can really in a situation where we need to help someone else. It's really just a little bit of your time, and I think it would be a worthwhile investment in learning these skills so we can render assistance.
Even when someone is choking, the techniques learned in CPR may be applied to save that person from asphyxiation. To release the person's airway, position yourself behind them and clasp your fist at the navel and roll in an upward motion. When someone is unresponsive, that's a whole other ball game. The person may become unresponsive for several reasons. For instance, they could have a medical condition. To really know if someone is unresponsive and in need of CPR,
tap the person's shoulder and shout, "Sir, sir, sir," or "Ma'am, are you okay?" Once the person is not responding to you, and they can respond in several forms. They can answer by moaning, they can groan, they can open their eyes, they can move a limb. If the person is not responding to you, now you need to scan the chest and look if you see breathing. Once the person is not breathing, they are termed as being unresponsive. So once you have somebody collapsing, the first thing you need to do is check your environment, ensure that your environment is safe for you. Once the environment is safe, now you need to assess the person who has collapsed. Once someone is unresponsive, has no signs of life, call for help and bare the person's chest. So you remove their upper garments. Find your hand position. It's on the lower half, center of the chest, lower half of the breastbone, and you push in 30 times at the Bee Gees song, that's Staying Alive. Ha, 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 staying alive. If you are trained, after 30 compressions, you can give 2 breaths. If you are not trained, you don't know about CPR, you give hands-only CPR. So hands-only CPR is where you compresses the chest. You need to continue that on the way to the hospital, so you're maintaining cells life.
it's possible for anyone and everyone to learn CPR.
Nannies, construction workers, teachers, lawyers, doctors, everyone should learn CPR. Once you're able-bodied, you can learn CPR.
In terms of age, it's said as young as 12 years old can learn the art to save a life.
So many times, children get in situations that they need assistance. In fact, a cousin of mine, her son got into some distress. She realized that he wasn't breathing one day, and she was able to help him by giving him CPR. So I think that was really important that she had those skills so that she could assist her son, because who knows what would have happened if she wasn't able to give him that immediate assistance.
This course, I've done it before, and I find it very interesting because I work a lot with children, and one time I have to do a CPR on a little boy because there was leave under my care, and mother wasn't around, and he was eating some plum and playing on like plum seed, stabbing his throat, and I just hear him coughing, but it never very severe because he was coughing. So when he was coughing, I hold him up and I, try to do a little, I understand the CPR, tell him to cough. And he cough and cough until it actually come up.
I had a patient once, and while I was there in the bathroom with that person, the person just fell unconscious, and I was there, didn't know exactly what to do, but I was there saying, "Sir, are you okay? Are you okay?" And I didn't know much, what to do, but I decided to put the person on the side, and I was there trying to stop the person, then I was saying to myself, if I had known CPR well enough, I could perform it.
The Heart Foundation of Jamaica is one of the several local organizations that offer training in CPR.
The Heart Foundation of Jamaica is an authorized training center for the American Heart Association. We offer CPR training for medical and non-medical persons. We have our scheduled in-house training, and organization can call us to schedule classes at their convenience.
CPR! country. I believe that we can join our hands and make a difference in Jamaica. I believe that we can make a change and spread a belief of hope across our country. I believe that we can join our hands and make a difference in Jamaica. I believe, I believe, I believe.
We've come to the end of another Jamaica Magazine, but not to worry, you can watch it again on YouTube or at jis.gov.jm. We value feedback, so send us your thoughts on the program via email or drop us a line on our social media pages. I am Theodore Henry. On behalf of the entire production crew, enjoy the rest of the day and about the Harlem Pull.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.